Welcome back. I see a different Jermaine Franklin this time around. You know, for the Dillian Whyte fight, I don't know whether you really believed in yourself. You'd never boxed at that level. You put a great performance in. You felt that you won the fight. It was a good competitive fight. This time, you look lighter, you look leaner, you look full of confidence as well. And as far as opportunities go in the heavyweight game, probably the biggest is presented to you on Saturday night.
Well, first off, I want to say it's an honor to be back, and I appreciate the opportunity. But, in the beginning, I've just been on a little health journey, so, change my eating habits, change stuff I was consuming, body weight just started falling off, But we have more time to prepare for this fight, so I'm more ready, I'm more in shape, I'm just ready to let the fireworks go.
You speak with a lot of confidence to the media in the build-up to this fight, as you did in the Dillian Whyte fight as well. Different kind of challenge in Anthony Joshua, different kind of style as well, faster heavyweight, but still, you fought a big, strong heavyweight in Dillian Whyte as well. You've been watching this man, I'm sure, like many have over the years, always believed that you could beat him.
I mean, I'm just a huge fan of the sport. I watch a lot of boxing, so I watched AJ fights way before we even had this opportunity or thought it was possible. I'm just a huge fan of the sport, but yeah, my confidence is always great. I think you in the wrong business if you don't truly believe in yourself. It's not the right game for you. So you always have to have the extreme utmost confidence in yourself, and you just have to put the faith and the works behind it.
I've seen many interviews where you say you're gonna knock him the fuck out. Is that the plan on Saturday?
That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, I'm gonna get the win by any means possible. But if I can put him on his ass, that's what I'm gonna try to do.
And you believe that's possible? You look at where he's at in his career right now, the fights that he's been in.
I mean, anything is possible. I come from a place with not a lot of possibilities, so I made it this far. Anything is possible.
And finally, when you fight Anthony Joshua, we know the eyes of the world are watching as well. Is that part of the motivation going into this fight? You know that the World Heavyweight Championship comes through victory on this fight.
My passion for the sport. My team and my family. That's all the motivation I need.
And finally, Saturday night, you believe you are victorious. Great fight last time, but in front of 17,000 people at the O2, live on DAZN around the world, Jermaine Franklin beats Anthony Joshua on Saturday.
That's how I believe it happened Saturday. I believe my hands get raised at the end of the fight.
AJ, back in the UK, feels good. I know you always say you don't care where you fight, but going back to that changing room where you made your professional debut, going back to that changing room where you won the Commonwealth title, the British title night against Dillian Whyte, the world title against Charles Martin, the defence against Brazil. Yeah. It's been an unbelievable journey, 10 years this year since this all began. And some say Saturday night, although you will say, and many fighters will say, just another fight, a lot of people saying one of the most important of your career.
Yeah, it's big. It's massive. It's a big fight for me, for sure. Respect my opponent fully. I respect everything that he says he's been through, and we're here to rock and roll. And I respect my supporters as well, so I put in the work. And I respect my coach as well, so I want to make sure I go out there and I get the job done in good fashion. I like the fact that you always dangle carrots in front of me, telling me if you do this, then this is here and that's there, always leading on to big things. And I dream big, and I want bigger and better things in my life. As I stated in the last press conference, I want to secure the bag and move on in my life.
This time around, Derek James, one voice. And I know that, that's been refreshing for you as well. How much have you enjoyed that experience? You seem to have a close relationship already, a lot of respect and trust on Saturday night, and looking forward to going through the process of warming up, listening to coach in the corner and executing the game plan.
Yeah, the goal's not to make it back to the corner. The goal's to take him out. And I respect Derek fully, and I trust everything he's been saying. Like, when you're a student of the game, there's certain times where you can be on the same level as people that you speak to about boxing. But when I speak to Derek, and I obviously ask him certain questions, the knowledge he spits is phenomenal. Like, the knowledge that he gives me is really, really, really good. And we're at a stage now, like, when you're at this side of the fight, the physical work's done. All fighters know, like, fight week, you're still training because it's just part of our nature, but the physical work's done. It's all about the knowledge. That's what you got to train your mind. And honestly, Derek is up there as one of the best people I spoke to about boxing. So I appreciate his time. I appreciate the fact that he took me on, because I'm sure he's a well sought after coach. And yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to showing him that he ain't wasted his time by taking on this project.
When I came to Dallas a couple of weeks ago, I was quite surprised by the simplicity, but I know you don't overthink surroundings in camp, but it was very different to what you've been working with over the last couple of years. I know you never wanted that kind of attention, but it was refreshing to see just the hard work and the basics of boxing that you reverted to there.
Yeah. When you strip boxing back, it is very basic. A lot of it's down to self-belief, number one. That's how you start off. And then, as I said, knowledge. You just gain knowledge and you just apply it in the ring. You fight with desire, and then you could add some skills along the way. I was based in the Olympic gym in Sheffield for years. Obviously, that's a big setup because you've got hundreds of fighters, international fighters coming in. But in the world-class boxing gym in Texas, just a few of us pros just putting in the groundwork. And as you said, that's probably what you saw was different, is I'm not around like hundreds of other fighters in the gym. It's just like 3 or 4 of us just putting in work. But like when you disconnect from everything, which is hard to do in this day and age, we're so connected, I took myself away to disconnect, and all the answers, well, all the questions I've been asking myself, the answers came in that like quiet time, do you know what I mean? And it's been a good camp, and it's good to be back in the UK, but everyone knows the UK is a little bit dead now. You know what I mean? So I just can't wait to get back out to Texas and get back to putting in work.
This guy says he's going to knock you out. You've heard it a million times as well, but you're always a scalp, and there will be people that say this is a great time to be fighting Anthony Joshua, but maybe
it's the worst time.
Exactly. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, the more he talks, the bigger grave he digs for himself. But it is what it is, isn't it? I could say a lot of things about him, but I respect my opponent. It's not for me to talk, it's for you to do all the talking. It's for me to like do my job on Saturday. And that's just really, honestly, what I'm focused on. As I said, like from round 1 to round 12, I'm prepared for a 12-rounder, but I do believe in my ability, my counter-punching and all that type of stuff to definitely put a dent in Jermaine. But as I said, I'm not here to talk, I'll just do what I have to do because I really want to win.
And that desire, we know it's still there. You're looking forward to, we know you say you're not an entertainer, but you have entertained the public for so many years. They will be out watching in huge numbers on Saturday night to see where you're at, I guess. And personally, for all the hard work you put in, you want to put a statement together on Saturday night for the work that you put in.
Yeah, and that's personal. And as I said, that's to show my coach, like, I respect everything that the time that he's put in with me. So, in terms of entertaining, I don't really like, as we see, like, we don't play boxing, but at the same time, like, people from years back, like, the empires, they've just loved people coming together and fighting, so they'll be entertained regardless. I think we'll see blood, and I just really look forward to getting in there. I'm so happy I'm fighting again, because, as I said, looking at the champions, it's just a shambles. Like, when you're trying to compete mandatories or negotiations, honestly, like, I just can't believe that no fights have been made at the championship level, but I'm just so happy that I can get back to work and get on with my job, and I'm looking forward to this assignment, and I can't wait, honestly. I'm really looking forward to it.
And the final word from both camps, Jermaine. I know victory by any means necessary is a standard line, but quite boring to some people. How do you win this fight on Saturday night?
I win by any means necessary. You know, like I said, if we could get the knockout, that's what we're going for. If not, then we win by points, but we dominate.
And AJ, you going with a standard line, or are you going to take this guy out on Saturday night?
What's going to happen? I'm going to come out, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do... As you said, by any means necessary. We're just here to do a job. And as I said, like, I respect my opponent, may the best man win. And one thing he said is like, he started eating right for this camp and all that stuff. I think he's dealing with someone that's been living right from the get-go. Like, I've been putting in work from the day I started this business. So, yeah, it's going to be a good fight because he's up against the real one, for sure.
Well, one of the most important